I am recording this session, so we will have an archive of it as well. Today, Christie Snyder, who is our school library consultant, will be talking about banned books. Go ahead, Christie, and take it away.
All right. Well, last year we did Banned Book Week, and we talked about, why you would want to go ahead and celebrate a banned book. And it occurred to me this year, you really can't do any programming, or most of you won't be doing any programming in your building. So I bet you would like some virtual activities that you can use on your Facebook or your website. So the first place I always start is the ALA page, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Go there. So this is the place that you can find headings for Facebook. The theme this year is censorship is a dead end. Find your freedom to read. They have posters and Twitter headers. They've got censorship by the numbers. They've got all kinds of infographics to share. There's just a lot here that you can use on your Facebook page or Twitter. So I do have all these websites typed out and ready for you. On the ALA page, they have just a page of banned book, which has a whole bunch more of logos, and you can download pictures, you can download posters. So make sure that you go to these pages and see what they've got. I know if you are in the building, you might like the Shelf Talkers. They have you list the title and some reasons why the book was banned, which is always on the ALA advocacy banned book page, a list of all the books that are have been challenged or banned and why. What I did was I have my LibGuide, and just to share some things about it, I put some of their graphics. They have a little video here of the 10 most challenged books in the past year and why they were banned. And that's a nice thing to tuck in to your website or your Facebook page, and people can see for themselves. A lot of passive programming that you can do. I thought it was interesting. I found the top most classics. This is still all on the banned and challenged website of ALA. The Office of Intellectual Freedom has a lot of this, and I will have the links for you. But they've got a whole list of the classics. Look at Catcher in the Rye. It really took a hit over the years. The Grapes of Wrath, To Kill a Mockingbird. So you might even want, maybe you could have a guessing game. Here's a reason of why a book was banned, and have them match it to the next book, to the book. What was also interesting was the top most children's books. Have any of you made a Facebook poll? These are the ones for this year, but they have picture books, nonfiction books, even poetry and fiction. I mean, they have a whole range of things. So you could target a lot of different patrons in your library. YA books. I know I can't see you. Can you guys see everybody else? Anybody made the Facebook poll?
You can use a reaction. You can find those at the bottom, or you can raise your hand if you're in the participants screen. If you click on the participants box, then there's an option to raise your hand. Looks like Liz has given a thumbs up. And that's all I see with the thumbs up. I don't see any other hands.
Okay, well, I might show you quickly how to do that. So I'm going to go to my our Facebook page, and it has to be your business page. It can't be your personal page. So I'll get in here and I'll go. Okay. So they have a whole bunch of new stuff over here, and you go to publishing tools. Hopefully I've done this correctly. And so when you go to create a post up here with the blue button, then you'll get the poll. So you can ask a question. How many banned books have you read? And I would maybe put a link to the list of banned books, like forever. Maybe you don't want to do that, maybe 20. And then your option here, when you post this, it'll just be, they're going to put a number in there. And that's all there is to it. So then you go down here, and I guess maybe they want me to do something. I'll never take it down. My button's still not showing. Oh, share now.
It may not let you share now until you have something in the options. I have two options to pick. Yeah.
Just how many?
So this would be where you put your answer, like 2, 4, 6.
Right, but I want them to put the answer, not me.
I'm not sure it works that way.
Okay.
If you this one would really work as a comment where everybody could put in a comment. But
okay.
This is a poll, so it needs a set answer.
So I have a not good example. Maybe you could put.
Do you read banned books, or
okay.
Have you read a banned book? So it's a yes or no question.
Wow. So you just put yes or no in here.
Yeah.
And then change your question to, do you read banned books?
Right. Okay, there you go. Now we learn together. Oops, something's not working.
And then it doesn't work on Facebook. That is a presenter's Murphy Law right there, Christy. It's going to have an error when everybody's watching.
Okay.
There are some comments in the chat. Danielle says it's like multiple choice, so you could give them, I've read more than 5, more than 10, 0, and then they select one of the options.
Right.
And then Amy says that she finds that with the multiple choice polls, she gets a better response than just an open-ended question.
Okay. So, learning from each other. But that's where you find it. At least you can find it. And now you know you have to have multiple choices. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get there. Okay, so that is our Facebook poll. And there was another choice, and I'm going to try to find that link. It was a voting bracket, and you had 2 banned books, and it was vote for your favorite character. And so you put in the characters there, they choose one, and then maybe the next day you choose that one and add a new one, and that's how you could vote about what's one of the most favorite top challenge children's books. YouTube is another good resource. They have okay, sorry. They have a whole channel of banned book for Banned Book Week. So you all have to do is go in and search Banned Book Week, and you'll come up with, they'll talk about books. There's some that give you the description of what the book's about. Some of it is about Banned Book Week and why you celebrate it. Stand for the band readout videos. A lot of kids have done their own, and they're encouraged to read a little bit from Banned Book Week, Banned Booked. That you can see celebrities have done that, and on my sheet, I've got it's just the celebrities and authors that have talked about their banned books. John Green here, the first one, he had a really interesting take on people trying to challenge or ban his book. This one by Dave Pilkey, it's not that long, almost 2 minutes. I'm going to play it for you. Can you guys see it? Hear it?
Yes, we can see it.
But not hear it?
The news was quite a shock to me.
There, we can hear it. The sound went down. I'm not sure what happened.
All have to like the same things. The freedom to choose for ourselves what we read and think about is a hard work right for every American. So what should you do?
It sounds not working.
It's easy. All you have to do is make a simple change. Next time you find yourself thinking, I don't want children to read this book, just make a simple change. One tiny attitude can make all the difference. The next time you start to think, that book is not belong in the library, just make a simple change. And if you ever find yourself thinking, I should complain about that book, just make a simple change. You see, by changing ourselves, we can show our concern while still allowing everyone else to experience
Isn't that wonderful? And you can post these on your, you can embed them into your Facebook page. You can put them on your web page. If you need any help doing that, let us know. We'll help you out. You know about our Breakout EDU. We aren't loaning out the boxes right now, but they do have digital games. And there was only one in the Breakout EDU for adults and high schoolers. It was called Free People Think and Read Freely. And it goes through, you've got a group of concerned citizens that they've formed a group, and they want to protect the students from inappropriate ideas and materials. All their intellectual freedom has been put into a box, and so their challenge is to get all the locks unlocked and get to their intellectual freedom. And if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to help you get into that. Banned Book Week trivia. I've got a link to this as well. It's from the banned book pages of ALA, and they give you an outline of how to host your trivia and templates and promotional materials. And you've got a week and a half here. You can get that started. Hannah did one this summer with the fairy tales, and she used up at Great Bend, and she used just slides to put her question and then 3 or 4 answers, and then you had to choose the right one. And so that's another very simple thing to do. They actually give you the questions to do the trivia, so you don't have to come up with the questions yourself, but you've got to put up get your own slideshow going. Another one I thought was really interesting, if you're wanting to do something with YA, was they had a teen readers theater, and Chris Crutcher had allowed the sledding hill be turned into a readers theater, and you would get kids to join you online and assign them the characters. They're all teens except for one adult, and then you guys would read it, or you would get together and record it and then share it. Banned Books Week bingo might look something like this.
Christy, we're not seeing that.
You're not?
No, we see your calendar.
My calendar?
Yes.
Okay, how do
Why don't you stop share and start over?
Okay. Sorry about that. Now?
Yes.
Okay. They've just taken book covers and put a whole bunch of different banned books, and you could do this to do bingo. This one is just check the ones that you've read, and it could have been something you put out for your patrons to check, and then maybe give a prize for whoever's read the most or whatever. But I found a bingo baker that you can easily make your own bingo cards. You wouldn't be well, you might check. I didn't check to see if they'd done any banned books, but you can create it here. You can decide what size it is, and then you just drag
Christy,
and drop.
you're still showing your bingo card, not your bingo maker.
What am I doing?
You're showing one program at a time instead of your whole desktop. So if you want to show your screen, you'd pick your screen. I'll come out and help.
Oh, it's paused. It says it's paused. Okay. I don't see a choice. Share computer.
Okay, so if you're always sharing screen 3 to me to make sure that everything's always on screen 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Got it together now. Yay, Mary Beth. Okay, so you can drag and drop your pictures into these squares and make, we'll make several different cards. It can be generated and shown on, dropped into your website, or you can print them and hand them out. So either way, they have really good directions here on how to do that. I found Banned Books Mad Lib. We've kind of had a Mad Lib thing going here at work. And the 5-Minute Librarian, I found some really good stuff. This is a blog. And they've got 4 different ones. So something fun to play. A writing contest. You just post it and then you let them submit it, and then maybe you would have some readings, or you might have the stories available for others to read and then have a contest. Imagine a world where all the books were banned. How would that be? I hadn't realized that banned, I guess it makes sense, but graphic novels and comic books now are also being banned, and they have their own web page here. This is called the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, and they've got a video about the comic books, or the what do I want to say? I'm blank right now.
Graphic novels?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So they've got videos of through the years, and there's several other spots that I shared where you can get activities. They've got resources here, and even some webinars if there's some people interested in that. How about a stay-at-home readathon? Challenge your patrons one night, check out a banned book, and read as much as they can of it, and then post their thoughts about what they read. You could encourage them to use Hoopla and Sunflower eLibrary to encourage them to find a book. If they haven't planned ahead, that's a good place to find some banned books to read. I found a online scavenger hunt for poetry, and this isn't what you would do for banned book weeks, but this is a scavenger hunt, and you can see it's just made in Google Forms. So you can look at the poetry. I've got another page there of the different types of poetry that have been banned, and choose some questions from those and create your own Google form. Okay. Grab and go. Have any of you heard of the Dear Banned author letter? It's been around for quite a while. And they have a kit here that just has about everything you need. They have some different ways you can participate. They have postcards that you either print or they can be tweeted, or they're e-postcards you can send to an author. It's got everything you need here. And it's a, you know, if the kids have read one of the banned books, to talk to an author and say, you know, I love this book, I'm so sorry it's banned, or it made me a little uncomfortable. Why did you write it? You know, you can encourage your children or your adults to check in with the author and see what this was all about. How about an art show? Feature reimagined covers of banned books, or maybe some banned book trading cards, and have it as a contest, and you can post those pictures and have the groups vote in a poll on Facebook, and that's another way to promote banned books. I told you about the standout for the banned books readout. Anybody can do it and post their reading to YouTube. I have a link here for just the authors and celebrities. This year, they are promoting Scary Stories. Everybody knows Scary Stories, right? By Schwartz. Well, they've got a documentary, and it's going to be shown October 2nd for Banned Book Week, and this page helps you promote it. They're also going to have they're having a watch party. They have a DVD, of course, that you could buy, but you know, it might be something you could promote and say, let's watch this, and you know, talk about your favorite scary stories and why would anybody ban these books, because they were banned for, challenged anyway, many times. And the program's all done for you. All you have to do is mediate the discussion. I think Patty's done this several times, but with a banned book, you could shred it up, put it in a jar, and take up close-up pictures. There's several. You could just take pages and black out some of the words and see if they can figure out what it is, or just, you know, looking closely to see what book you may have shredded to put in there. And I thought this one was fun. I don't know that I could actually do this, but guess the book title, the banned book title, from emojis. And this is an example. The New York Public Library just had put up questions with emojis.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange. That, you know, these aren't all, let's see, does it let me go to the next question? What is this book title?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes. Yep. So, you know, 10 questions or so, and you can maybe find some.
Eat, Pray, Love. Oh. These are fun.
I like these.
War and Peace.
Game of Thrones.
Let's see if I choose wrong, what happens. Oh, I'm incorrect. I just am sent on to the next question. So lots of fun. I'm not sure what they made this with, but you could do that with a slideshow very easily.
You can also just share it right on your own Facebook page there.
Right, right.
Or you could just make a Facebook post that has one of those, and then people just put in the comments what they
Yeah.
think it is, and then they don't have the option, so it makes it a little harder too.
Yeah. How about Would You Rather? This one had made examples of houses of banned book characters. You could do houses with banned book characters, and then you choose which house full of characters would you be most willing to be stuck inside with. And it says these houses are arranged for maximum chaos. And it's just a discussion starter, you know, which of these do you choose? Which would you rather? Why? And I thought that sounded like fun too, if I knew all the characters.
I would say I'd have to look up some of these characters.
Yeah, some of these I wouldn't be sure either. But maybe with banned books, we might know. They're so notorious that we would know them. So at the bottom of this, which I'll give to Mary Beth to post the whole thing when she sends out the recording. It was virtual program ideas for Banned Book Week, and there's more ideas. And it was the Office of Intellectual Freedom that came up with most of these. They are not original, but they had some wonderful things. And I just learned about, I see I spelled something wrong here. Some of those that were PDFs, and you always love those, but you don't know how to use them. You know, you don't have something to change it so that it's a document. Well, there's this program called TeacherMade, and this gal has done is you can take a PDF wherever you found it and you drop it in there, and then she has a toolbar where you can put the and I'm going to stop sharing here because this will be there too. It puts in the space in the bars. It makes them so that you can type in the answers, even if it's a PDF. So what they've been doing is, like, a lot of them use Google Classroom. They were dropping it in there for the kids to take a quiz or try a puzzle or whatever. So I haven't played with it a lot because I just learned about it this morning. But I think it would be really helpful if one of those things that we just looked at, you wanted to customize and use it for your library. You could do that and put it online, and it would be you could use it as a puzzle or fun thing to do.
You have a couple questions in the chat if you're ready for those.
You bet.
Okay. So one, it says, it looks like if you only have two options for your poll in Facebook. And I did a little testing on that, and it does look like there's only the two options for your poll in Facebook. If you want to have a more complex poll, you can try a SurveyMonkey, which is a free account, and then you can have as many variables as you want, and then you just post the link on Facebook. But for a very simple poll, you could use Facebook for that.
You know, Google Form too, if you haven't used it, that is real handy as well, because you can create it, copy a link and put it on your page, and they work really nice.
Okay, yeah, excellent. That's a good point too. Yeah. Kim asks, are there any recommendations on YouTube videos to share?
Well, that Dave Pilkey one I just love. I don't know how I missed it because it was done several years ago. But each year, the banned book on the banned book page, ALA banned book page, they list them for several years, and those always show the title, talk a little bit about why it was banned, and you know, you could show that and pause it and see if people can guess why the book was banned, if they've read it or not. I haven't actually just gone back to one over and over and over again. I can sure play with it a little bit, and I'd be happy to post some of my recommendations after this.
That'd be great, yeah. And Portia from Salina says that they can do polls in the stories feature on Instagram as well, and it's very simple.
Okay, see, I don't use Instagram much, so good.
She says it's similar to Facebook, but you hit the create button once you have the stories feature going.
Thank you.
We talked about Mr. Krupp being the killjoy for the Captain Underpants. And Hannah Griffin said that she would be happy to share her template for her little, I can't remember
quiz.
What it was.
It was a quiz, yeah.
Yeah, for her quiz. Okay,
The
get a little further down.
trivia quiz.
Trivia quiz, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let me think. Is Christy the person to contact for help posting to YouTube or Facebook? You can contact Michael or me or Patty or Christy. One of us at CKLS can walk you through it. There was a question. They have the option to do the poll on Facebook. It has to be on your library page. It can't be on your personal page. You need to go into, let me share my screen and I'll show you that one again.
And I wrote it down as well,
yeah,
on that sheet of paper.
Let me see if I still have Facebook open. All right, so you need to go into your library page. And there we go. And then you want to go into publishing tools. You have to do it from the publishing tools option. And I don't know why it's so slow for me today. But you go into publishing tools, and if it'll let me show you, maybe.
The next button will be create, I think.
Yeah, it'll be create. Oh, it's not going to let me show. I'm just going to stop
Yeah.
share. Go to create post from there, and then there'll be the 3 dots on the bottom right corner, and then they'll give you a whole list of options, and one of those is the polling option. Okay, did I miss any other questions? Okay.
Well, I hope I didn't throw too much at you, but maybe you'll see a thing or two you might like to try. And if you have, if you need help with anything, holler at one of us. We'd be happy to help.
I added something in the comments. One of the best things about going to library conferences is there's usually a gal there who runs a business called Stop Falling. And it's like library earrings and sweatshirts and sleep shirts and things like that. I, in the chat, put a link to her page. She has a really cool banned books pin that's nice to wear. And I also just got the sale. And she's a great vendor and a great gal. If you want a little bit of jazz for your library uniform, I linked you right to it.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right, any other questions for Christie or anybody at CKLS? We have some time.
I would say one more thing.
Yes.
Christie's giving this to you now. If you have quiet time now, you can work on these things and then schedule them to post on Facebook at a later time when you might be busy. That's one of the best things about Facebook.
Because Band Books is when, Christie?
It's September 27th to October 3rd.
Okay.
And that scary story documentary is October 2nd. I posted that little promo on the CKLS School Library page. And if you want to just grab it there, you'll be able to post it to your page from there.
Okay, I'm going to put that link. I'm going to put that link in the chat here for your CKLS School Libraries page on Facebook. And everybody can see your page and follow it. And
I might do a commercial for my LibGuides.
yes.
I have for school library, but public libraries are welcome to use anything on it. I just usually try to follow, what's going on at school. The other one is kind of the emergency. I got such a long name, I can't even remember what it is right now. But it's support for teachers and families and librarians while we've got this unusual COVID thing going on. So, if you want to share that with families, there's all kinds of activities that they can use with their kids. I'm going to try to, when I update, maybe every couple of weeks, send out a note and say, this is what's new. School library resources for reopening and returns to the library, to learning. So there's some good stuff in there. So even if you're not using it, if you have a family come in and say, good Lord, I don't know what else to do with these kids, there's some resources for them there too.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, check those LibGuides out. If you go to ckls.libguides.com, you'll see all the resources we have on there. We have resources for intellectual freedom, for grants for CKLS, for all the archives. If you go there, you're going to see all the links that we have there as well. Are there any other questions for us?
What's up next month for Tuesday with CKLS?
Oh, yes, next month for CKLS, we are doing a marketing session. Christie and Michael will walk through a brief overview of Library Aware, and then Patty's going to do an overview of making flyers for your library. The down and dirty, quick and simple way to do a flyer. And I think it's going to be very informative. It's going to help a lot of our libraries find the easy button for their flyers. Mm-hmm. And that'll be October 20th. October 20th, I think. Yes.
Great.
October 20th.
Librarians, remember, if you're not able to watch this Tuesdays with CKLS when they're live, you can, with your board approval, watch them at home. That's time that you can be paid for using some of your CE money from CKLS. And then you don't forget, you'll just go in and you'll add that, say, I attended this for CE, so Mary Beth can pre-populate that for you. Make sure your board knows that's an option, because sometimes you have the best intentions and you just get too busy. No. I would say also, if you're looking to spend some of that CE money, the Association of Rural and Small Libraries Conference is an online conference this year. It's a week worth of content for a good chunk out of every day. It'll be broadcast live, but everything is going to be recorded and you'll be able to go back and refer to it again. This is the #1 conference that your CKLS consultants and I recommend for libraries of our size. It's really great. It's super inexpensive this year, and it's going to be a really good content-filled stuff. You're going to come away with a lot of ideas that are doable, that are already sized for your libraries. So I really recommend that one.
Yes, yes. And your CE money can go towards that. And we also have a continuing education fund or a conference grant that could pay for that as well. So take a look at it and consider it.
Mary Beth, you've put some good links in the chat. How do we save that after everybody's gone?
All right, so in your chat, anybody can save it. Right where the box where you type stuff in, there's 3 dots on the right, and there's an option to save chat.
Awesome.
And it'll save it for us, and we can go back and
It'll save it. So if you send a private message, it'll save your private message, but nobody else can see your private messages. So you're going to see everything that you can see in that chat box is what it's going to save. It's going to save it in a text file, so you can open it in many different formats. Okay, we're going to let you all go. Remember that we are here for you, so give us a call, shoot us an email. If you don't know who to contact, just ask for one of us and we'll get you directed to the right person. So don't hesitate to just pick somebody and go with it. And we hope to see you next October the 20th. We just talked about that. And hopefully see you at the ARSL conference, which is at the end of September, and the KLA conference, which is at the end of October. Both of those are online this year. I'm going to stop recording.